Hey guys, what's up? It's Sunday, my room is a disaster, and this week I am going to be talking about sex education. When I was younger, I received absolutely zero in terms of sex education. I went to school in Utah during the age when you usually receive sex ed, and in Utah, their idea of sex education when I was younger was don't have sex. Kind of like in Mean Girls when they're like, if you have sex, you will die. And that's about all you get in Utah. I remember at one point sitting in class, my first health class, and they start going over the idea of sex, and they're showing diagrams up there of this and this and this situation, and I'm sitting in the back of the class staring at this going, because up until this point, no one had ever told me what sex was. My parents had never told me. I'd never asked anybody. I never even really thought about what sex was. I wasn't curious. I didn't really care. In my mind, sex was like something married people do when you're older, and that's all I'd really thought about. And I remember my teacher putting you put this anonymous box up at the front of the room, and you were able to go submit questions that you wanted to know. My idea of a really witty question was, how do you know what hole to put it in? Because in my mind, that was about my biggest concern. I was that horrified. How are you supposed to know what the hell you're doing? They didn't give us much information. We didn't know anything. They didn't talk about gay or lesbian sex. They didn't really talk about safe sex. They gave us a whole bunch of pictures of really scary diseases you could get if you had sex. So I think their whole tactic was, don't have sex or you could get these on you, with all these little warties and bumpies and things like that. So that was my sex education that I got, was don't have sex or you will get diseases. So that was really great for me. I don't know, I think it would have been nice to go over gay or lesbian sex, or how to have safe sex or anything, because maybe I would have thought about it sooner. When I started realizing I was gay, I didn't know there was a such thing as safe lesbian sex. I thought there was no such thing as unsafe lesbian sex. I thought, great, I'm a lesbian now, there's no chance of me being pregnant, there's no chance of me catching anything. Cool, great, wonderful. It wasn't until a whole year later that I went into my LGBT group in college. They held a safe sex seminar thing, and they went over things like dental dams, which, if you don't know what that is, please watch Kelly's video this week. She goes over how to create a dental dam. So yay for that. I don't know, these things never occurred to me, and I'm sure there's plenty of you out there like me who were completely sheltered and had no idea that, what sex was. My first exposure to what lesbian sex was on the L Word, and I think half the time I was sitting there watching it just going, and sometimes you, and sometimes it's, and sometimes it's, and then it's, and sometimes, and that's lesbian sex? And then I was just really confused and scared and horrified and slightly turned on, but mostly just scared out of my mind. And that was before I'd ever had sex with a girl. And going into having sex with a girl for the first time, I was just really intimidated, and then people are asking questions of me, like, how do lesbians have sex? And really, I mean, if people are exposed to these things early on, maybe you're not so intimidated, and maybe you have a little more information, and you're not so terrified when you go into the real thing. And I don't ever think information is a bad thing, and I think that's what people are afraid of when they're thinking about what to teach in the public school system. And there's always this big debate in Utah, at least, about, we only want to teach kids abstinence. And then they withhold information from people, and then you end up with teen pregnancies, a much higher rate of teen pregnancies, and STDs and STIs and all these different crazy things, because no information is ever given. People have to rely on friends and Google and all these other crazy things. Teach people, because then they at least know. What's the harm of telling people how to have safe sex with another man? What can that really hurt in the long run? You're not going to make somebody gay by teaching them how to have safe gay sex. You're not going to turn them gay, because if they don't like gay sex, they're not going to have it. So I just really don't see the harm in it, personally. I don't know. I think I would have been slightly scared sitting in health class learning about safe lesbian sex, but also I was slightly scared hearing about this situation as well. This wouldn't have been any less or more scary to me than this. Just my thoughts. I don't think, was any of that coherent? Moral of the story. Yay, gays. Ooh, Kai also mentioned this week that it's mine and her 1 year anniversary of starting videos for Lesbian Central, making videos for you guys. So I think that is really awesome. I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. It's been an amazing year. So I think it would be interesting for you guys to tell me what has been one of your favorite moments of mine from this past year, if you have one. Leave it in the comments below, because it's been a crazy year for me. I've enjoyed making every single one of these videos, and I hope to keep continuing to make videos for you guys, because I love it. I love it so much. Anyways, happy Sunday. Be safe. Have sex. Safe sex. Or something. Have a good week. And I love you all. And yeah. Bye, guys.